Hello everybody, this is Shifty here and I'm going to bring you an actual game of essentially a new build I have tried out, and it seems to work very well. It is very effective for Terran versus Protoss. It is indeed it's a fast expand while getting gas, so I really like that build. Also, I just want to say that I actually did do this game for a commentary, but we didn't actually talk about any worth in the game, so I am going to focus on that now while, because the other one was just kind of jokes and we did just laugh around. So this game is actually going to be very educational, so I do hope you guys check this out. But also, if you want to go for some laughs because, you're just bored or something, do check out the ComCom series. It is a comedy commentary with myself and some friends, and now the names are Engineering Bay and Stalker, or the Raver. So anyways, this game is a TVP. Shifty. This was a matchup I did just a random matchup, and I saved the game because I thought it was a really good execution of the fast expand build that I was trying out. So normally, what you would do, you would think that like a fast expand, there are many different ways. There is one where you throw down supply depot, barracks, no gas, and then you get your orbital command and you expand once you get 400 minerals. You have around like 16 or 17 population, but that is really easy to scout for the Protoss, because if the Protoss comes and sees that you have no gas, he will expect a fast expand or a cheese or something of the sort. So in order to fool the Protoss, I have worked out a build that allows you to get your gas up, and you really don't mine too heavily, but you also do not only make a bluff, but you also do you can get up your marauders faster, because the normal build where you only get your where you don't get gas really early, you will have to be continuously pumping out marines with no upgrades. So by going for the gas that is relatively early as a bluff as well, it will allow you to research like stim or combat shield, both of which are very important for any Terran army against Protoss. So anyways, I am going to delay the gas. I will throw down the gas only when the Protoss scouts me, which actually is really fishy, but I am hoping to just fool the Protoss player into think that I'm a super noob or something, and not notice that I am throwing down my gas really early. So when I do see his probe come in, I throw down my gas. 15 population. You normally throw it down around 13, so it just goes to show that this is really delayed gas, and I was mining minerals for the bulk of it. And this SCV isn't doing anything. It should do something right about now. Whatever. The Protoss player does go for a standard build. It's a very standard opening for Protoss. Actually, almost all Protoss have to go for this build, because if they don't go for the cybernetics and the Stalker, a Reaper would be able to clean up all the probes in a Protoss base. Anyways, I get one marine out, and now I do have one SCV mining gas. That's all I needed. I just needed him, the Protoss player, to see that I was going for gas. If you notice right here, oh, he actually didn't even scout this gas, so maybe he wouldn't even know if I was going for a fast expand, because his scouting was not perfect. So that actually could be a mistake on the Protoss player's part. So anyways, what I do now is I do throw down a command center, and it is a 1 barracks into fast expand with a gas. I am still mining gas, just one SCV. You are going to be throwing down a little later than you would if you didn't expand, or if you didn't go for the gas, because it is 75 minerals. You could get the fast expand up earlier, but when you do go for that, you're going to have less units and less tech. So I actually will play it safe, because also when you do go for it really as early as you can without going for gas, the kind of expansion, what's going to happen is that when you do float out, you won't have enough money to have a large enough land army, and you won't have any upgrades. So it is, I personally like this build. I definitely hope this isn't done before, because I was just messing around and it seemed to work out very well. So anyways, what happens now is after you throw down your command center, you just constantly build. You throw 3 SCVs to the geyser, and you start throwing down a barracks, and you throw down another barracks right about now. You do want 3 barracks, 2 of them with reactor, or 2 of them with tech labs, 1 with reactor. So you pump out 2 marauders and 2 marines every 30 seconds, and that is just a really good composition for a very early game army. So anyways, the Protoss player is going for a standard build. He is chrono boosting warp gate, getting 2 gateways, very standard, very standard, nothing abnormal. Now 3 gate, so now with 3 gates he could go into 2 things. He could get a robotics, or he could go for an expansion, or even a 4th gate. So many things, but he opts to go for a Stargate. So this means void rays are going to be coming out. Void rays, not phoenixes. Phoenixes, they could be done, but they're very hard to pull off, because if the enemy goes for mass marines, phoenixes are essentially very useless. Anyways, this command center is up, so I do research orbital command, and it actually does give you a 10 supply boost because, or 11 supply boost, because that is what command centers do. So you could actually cut down on supply depot by investing in the command center first. Just be sure to not get supply blocked until the command center is finished. So 3 barracks, 1 reactor should be coming up, 2 tech labs, and here is the reactor. So now you start researching whatever you want first, whatever you feel like you could need the most. I go for the concussion shells because I feel like the Marauders, I'm gonna just hold off with the Marauders. I don't really need stim because I'm gonna use bunker, and the combat shield doesn't really come in too handy because I am throwing down bunkers. So be sure that when you do move out with your command center, you must throw down bunkers, because if you don't have any bunkers, the Protoss player walks right in, destroys your few units, and you are done. But with the bunkers, you are able to mass repair and just give your units 350 or 400 extra health points. And that is just so effective. So Protoss player now does get one Void Ray is on the way, getting Warping and Stalkers. He's just building army, and so now my economic lead, my economy is gonna be 300, 400 minerals more than what he has, and that is just the advantage of this expansion, especially because I do have mules. Mules are just so effective. So the Protoss player is falling very far behind in income and resources. So I'm going to utilize this time to just build up my base, hopefully not lose this expansion, not lose the army and get destroyed, and just being able to keep up this production. I will be able to overcome the Protoss because of my economic advantage, and that is the fantastic thing about this build. A lot of Protoss players are quite unused with this. They either go for the expansion themselves, which by that point when they scout it, you could easily go counter and do some harass, because it is the early game that is extremely dangerous for a Protoss player or for a Terran player. The early game Protoss units one-on-one will beat any Terran unit, unless gateway units against Marauders, not really. But if you just go, for example, one Immortals are just so effective against Marauders. So early game, Protoss player will have an advantage, but by holding off the early game and forcing to the late game, Terran is able to make a very, very valiant comeback in this game. It just shows that exactly. So now I do have bunkers. I have nothing in them, but that's not necessary at the point. And I'm just going to pump out of these 3 barracks. I am not going to throw it down anymore because I will be getting upgrades soon. Where is the attack 1 upgrades? And I will be just trying to hold off the attack, get economy up further, and just not try to lose to anything initial push by the Protoss player. And here comes 2 Void Rays. He is going to go for some harass, but I do have a lot of Marines. I actually only have, that's 7. That's not that many. I am building 2 more because I always build 2 Marauders and 2 Marines at one time. So 2 Void Rays, they are going to charge up on their refinery, and that is just what's so annoying. They can just charge up on their refinery, and then their beams charge up, and then they can just focus down anything so quickly. They can do so much damage. They'll pop. The SCVs die in about like 2 seconds. So, and here comes some Marines, but I know it's really bad to engage against the Void Rays when they are charged up, but I couldn't just let him stay here and just target my command center like he is doing right now. That is just what a common thing that you players do with Void Rays. The damage just increases so much, so I do have to constantly harass the Void Rays, keep them off the command center while I build up more Void Rays, and I am researching Stim. Where is Stim? Stim should be done actually. Stim is done. I actually didn't use it. I should have used it. So that was a mistake on my part. Here comes 4 more Marines. We do have 2 Void Rays. They are very heavily damaged, and Stim comes up, and these Marines will easily take out the Void Rays with Stim. So now I hold that attack off. Protoss player I don't think he knows I expanded. He doesn't know I expanded. He just knows I have 2 barracks and something going on. So he doesn't know I expanded. So he has no reason to expand himself, because that actually is the fault of going for Stargate instead of robotics, because you won't get an observer, and the observer allows you to just see things, just check everything out in the Terran player's base. So he actually doesn't know I expanded, and now he sees this bunker, so he must think, oh, I expanded, so now I expect him to be throwing down a command center. He actually has a lot of economy. His macro is slipping almost at 1,000 minerals. You should never have this much money. It really is excessive, and you don't need it. Just throw down, keep throwing. If you have this much money, throw down a Nexus and throw down like 3 more gates, and you'll be able to fully use all the money you have. Right now, I am throwing down another barracks because my income is starting to go up. I am up. Am I upgrading? Why am I not? I'm still not upgrading. I guess just keeping up the economy, keeping up upgrades. Only combat show is not upgraded. Stim is researched, and I have relatively large army force. If you look, I'm almost on the same level, while my economy is so much higher, because that means I caught up to the Protoss player. Because when I fast expanded, my army was definitely going to be smaller than his. So he does expand now, and his army is not very big at all. This can easily be defeated by a Marauder Marine Ball. These Void Rays are going to be annoying, but I don't think there will be much of a challenge against Mass Marines. Void Rays do get wrecked by Mass Marines very, very easily. So anyways, I do throw down another bunker just for caution. I saw him try to move in, and I just got a little wary. But just keep in mind, there is no harm in throwing down another barracks, because if you don't want it, just salvage it and you get the money right back. You get 100% of its minerals back. So you might as well throw down bunkers just for extra protection. I mean, so you won't lose. More barracks are being thrown down because my income is starting to pick up. So in order to, when your income starts picking up, just throw down just throw down more production buildings, and just maintain your income around like 200 or 400. Because every time you build out of these, it is going to cost 200 for 2 Marauders and 200 for 4 Marines. So have around $400 every time you finish. After every 30 seconds, you should be able to get around 400 minerals. So now let's. This battle should be coming soon. I actually have a very large army. I am constantly checking out the Protoss player, because I realize that his composition of units is Void Rays and Gateway units. Gateway units are going to be defeated by Marauders very, very easily. Marauders are just so effective against Gateway units. So this is very good, and I am keeping up constant production. Constantly, my population is 103. Throwing down upgrades. Upgrades are coming up now. +1 attack, +1 armor, and an armory is coming up, so I can increase the upgrades after these finish. A Stargate or Starport is coming up with a tech lab. I want to plan to get some Ravens. Ravens are really, really good against Protoss, because with Ravens you are able to throw down that point defense drone, and they essentially make Stalkers completely useless. And Stalkers are just, they're really good at taking down things like your medevacs and things like that. So you definitely want to take that, prevent that from happening. And so I do scan the unit, and I realize he has all gateway units. Gateway units very easy to kill, so I'm going to move in with this massive army. If you look at my unit composition, I have 19 Marauders and 25 Marines. That is because I was building 2 Marauders for every 2 Marines. So this composition is actually very, very large. And look at these Stalkers; they are going to go down very, very quickly. And so what happens now is, though he has 3 Void Rays, he will be able to actually clean this up, I bet, because my Marines aren't targeting. I'm not targeting the Void Rays, and it looks like the Void Rays are charged up. They were attacking this rock. I'm just going to straight up focus down this Nexus. Just take out his economy right now. He is almost mined out in his main. Take out his economy, set him back a lot, and look at my army count. It's probably going to be, actually, my army count almost caught right back up, because I was producing continuously the whole time. If you do notice, I am still producing Marines. My Marauder, actually not, but I am producing Vikings as well. So my production has constantly been going up, and though he might have a teeny bit advantage in army size right now, I am able to just catch up very, very quickly. Is he getting a carrier? No, he's not, but he does have a fleet beacon. Maybe a mothership? I don't know, but his, look, he's long distance mining, so he is going to be suffering a lot of damage and just going to be really behind. And mass Marines right now, perfect composition to counter these Void Rays. So this guy is going to have a lot of problems. I don't think he's, this game is about to be over because of my, income advantage. So I'm just saying this build is really, really good. Try it out yourself. Mess around with the build order. You could maybe try, throwing down 2 bunkers, 4 barracks, or anything like that. Mess around with the variations, but it's a general gist of getting a gas first, and then getting your throwing down your expansion. So I think it's very, very good. Try it out, and just let me know what you guys think. And so tutorials will be coming up more often. Hopefully, I will be moving into college soon, and I will be busy with some of the setup things. But I will be sure to keep up production of tutorial videos as well as com things with Engineering Bay. And that is it. So thank you guys for watching. That is Good Game.